Most people have heard of computer viruses before, but do you truly know what they are? By definition, a computer virus is a type of malicious software program that replicates itself by modifying other computer programs and inserting its own code once executed. Computer viruses are designed much like actual viruses, in the sense that their goal is to replicate, spread, and infect as many as possible. Before we go any further, there's a few important things we need to establish. The terms virus and malware are often used interchangeably, but they are not the same thing. A virus, along with worms, Trojan horses, and drive-by downloads, are actually a type of malware, and malware is simply an umbrella term used to describe any bad software infecting a computer. We can further break down malware into its actions. A virus is a type of delivery method used to infect your computer, but what it does once on there can generally be split into the following categories: spyware, adware, ransomware, and scareware. We'll get into what these do and what they mean for your computer later on. So we've established a basic understanding of computer viruses, but how do they work? Well, once on your computer, viruses actually require you to run the infected program before they can do anything. Computer viruses attach themselves to programs or documents that support macros in order to execute. Macros are an input sequence that run automatically to imitate mouse or keyboard actions. Macros are common in word processors and spreadsheets like Microsoft Word or Excel. Once the infected program has been run and the virus is no longer dormant, there are a couple of things that can happen. This is where we come back to spyware, adware, ransomware, and scareware. If you have a spyware virus, the software will spy on what you do on your computer, much like the name indicates. Through doing this, it tries to discover and steal sensitive information about you, like your passwords for websites, your address or phone number, your contacts, or credit card and bank information. Adware is relatively tame compared to the rest, and often is fairly easy to get rid of. In fact, it's not always even considered to be a virus, because oftentimes the user agrees to the tracking done by the software. Basically, adware tracks what you do on your computer and gives you pop-up ads based on things like your search history, commonly visited sites, and interests. Ransomware explains itself a bit within the name. Ransomware will encrypt your files so that you can't use them unless you pay the virus creator to decrypt the files. Failure to pay often results in the total corruption or deletion of the file. Scareware usually appears to be a legitimate program, like an antivirus software. The virus will scan your computer and inform you that you have a dangerous threat that needs to be taken care of. They will often attempt to convince you to pay money and upgrade to the full version of the software to get the virus removed, or to pay for a technician to work virtually to remove it. Some viruses don't even bother with threatening to destroy your files or attempting to get money from you. They just get right to deleting documents and corrupting your computer. These viruses are simply made to wreak havoc on computers and aren't really designed to make the virus manufacturer money directly. Not only does a virus affect your computer, it can also spread to others and corrupt their computer too. Viruses are often spread from computer to computer through email attachments or text messages. These can be done even without the user ever knowing either. Viruses will often take it upon themselves to access the computer's contacts and send an email containing the virus to the top 50 contacts found. Viruses can also be spread through links on social media and downloads from untrustworthy websites. Ideally, we don't want to get viruses in the first place. In order to protect yourself from viruses, you should download an antivirus software. Antivirus softwares are designed to recognize and delete viruses on your computer without you having to do too much yourself. There are two main types of antivirus software: resident antivirus packages and second opinion scanners, also known as cleaners. Resident packages are superior and are running on your computer constantly. They come with a list of virus signatures or patterns that help them recognize malware on your machine. If any of the signatures are detected, the antivirus software immediately attempts to block or delete it. Scanners, on the other hand, often require you to manually initiate a virus search on your computer, and they can't always remove the virus either. Unfortunately, antivirus software is not always totally effective. The software is constantly being updated and adding new virus signatures to its list. But if the software encounters a new virus or one not on its list, it can't remove it as it doesn't recognize it to be a virus. These viruses that your software has no knowledge of are called zero-day viruses. In the 1 to 2 days it typically takes for the new virus signatures to be added and recognized, you and countless others can become easily infected. Much like flu viruses mutate in response to vaccines, computer viruses are constantly adapting to do the same, earning them their name. Over time, there have been some pretty infamous and destructive viruses unleashed. CryptoLocker is a great example of ransomware. The virus was spread in 2013 through email attachments, and it encrypted files on the user's computers. The hackers demanded thousands of dollars for the decryption key, and when people failed to pay, their files were deleted. In just 10 days, about 500,000 computers were infected, and over $30 million were lost. Slammer was actually a worm, but I thought it was important to look at it to capture just how dangerous malware can be. Slammer infected half of the servers that basically ran the internet in just 15 minutes. It crashed the Bank of America's servers, crippled 911 services, and grounded flights because of online errors. It affected computers and routers worldwide and caused an estimated $1 billion worth of damages. Flashback was a virus that infected Mac computers. This virus wasn't particularly harmful, but it's well known because of how rare Mac viruses are. This virus actually got into computers at Apple's headquarters in Cupertino, but fortunately, Apple released an update to fix the problem, and the virus is now rarely seen. Perhaps the scariest and most important virus is Stuxnet. The Stuxnet virus was actually a virus created by the US government engineers in association with the Israeli government. This virus was first discovered in 2010, but it is thought to have been in development since 2005. This virus was used to attack and compromise Iranian nuclear weapons, and was so effective it actually caused some of their centrifuges to self-destruct. Although the cost of this virus is unknown, it is especially significant because this is the first time anyone had ventured into cyber war, something that definitely could lead to some disastrous results. Overall, viruses can be pretty dangerous. As long as we have computers, we're going to have viruses. However, the more we know, the easier it is to protect ourselves. In only a few minutes, we've learned that viruses don't do anything until the infected program is run. They're commonly spread through emails, fake links, and downloads, and you can protect yourself with antivirus software. So don't let viruses deter you from using your computer. Just make sure you're a little more cautious and aware from now on.